Well, day one has just taken a turn for the worst. Yeah, Google Maps did us dirty.
I don't break easy. I can usually handle a lot of situations with a smile on my face. This is one that is really testing me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5:30 a.m. These GoPros aren't very good in low light, are they? We are headed to Burger King to meet up with the boys. Basically, right now, I'm just going through my mind thinking of all the things that I may have forgotten. Yeah. This begins the Fordyce Trail trip, the boys trip, annual boys trip. We did Doozy last year, which was pretty freaking amazing. And now we got a slightly larger group. We're gonna be doing Fordyce Creek, my holy grail trail, my absolute favorite trail. I love it, and you're gonna see why. So we've got a whole lot of driving ahead of us today. The plan is to go all the way to Meadow Lake first. The reason for that is because we've got 2 tow rigs. Cole is towing up his TJ on the back of a trailer, and Matt Sadowski is trailering up the Magic Jeep as well. So the plan is to drive up to Meadow Lake. We will set up a camp there, drop off the tow rigs, drop off the doors and tops or whatever people want to do. And then we're gonna run down to a nice little campground called Tahoe Donner Campground. And that is where we will make camp for the night on night 1. It's gonna be a long day. I think we're looking at a probably 13-14 hour day. 5:45 right now, so it'll probably be 7:30 or so by the time we get camp set up and start getting into dinner maybe. Lights are gonna be going down, so long day, lots of driving. How the hell does Steve Allen beat me here?
Hey, I always beat you here. No, I don't always beat you here. No. But I have the last couple times.
Where's our trailer friends?
They're on the road,
on
man.
the way. We're gonna catch up to them.
They left about an hour
yeah.
early.
You didn't get
Am
it.
I in a different? Is there like a thread that doesn't have me in it?
No. You were there. I was confused about the start time too. I kept going. I said, well, I'm just gonna come here at 6 a.m. in the morning, and if people meet me, I'm cool with that. If not, I'll catch up.
Was this all figured out? Oh, maybe was this figured out at? They were on their own beer.
The 11th hour, yeah. Yeah, well, no.
11th hour and 59th minute. Alrighty, we're at our lunch stop at the world famous Walker Burger. I've actually never been here before. This is a first for me, so we will check it out. Look at you guys all walking up, all swag.
You guys drove? Well, I guess we drove too. We drove.
How are you?
See you, brother.
All right, so this is gonna be a fun one to unpack. Let's just say day one did not go according to plan. So the plan was to get both of the tow rigs out to Meadow Lake. We wanted to set up camp as soon as possible out there at Meadow Lake. Number one, because Sierra Trek was going on that weekend, we know it was going to be really busy, and finding a place to camp maybe the day we got off the trail might be a little bit challenging. So we wanted to get a head start on that. But number two, it was a great place to drop off the tow rigs and the trailers, so we didn't have to leave them, you know, down at Chevron and have to double all the way back. We could just finish the trail, the tow rigs would be there, load up the Jeeps, and drive straight home on the last day.
Good call!
So how it all really went sideways is that we trusted Google Maps. Don't do that.
Don't you ever do that again, you hear me? Don't you ever do that again!
Google Maps put us on a road out to Meadow Lake that, you know, we just assumed was the right one, and it wasn't. We started up this road, and we noticed after about 15 or 20 minutes that you know, it was a little tighter in some spots than we thought, a little bit more rutted out in some spots than we thought. We were figuring with the Sierra Trek that weekend, why hasn't this road been graded yet? It didn't make a whole lot of sense. The further in we got, it started to get a little bit more challenging, especially for the tow rigs. Matter of fact, Blubicon got to bust out some tow skills. Check it out.
Well, I didn't know Blubicon was going to end up being a tow truck. And that's right, rig number 2.
So yeah, as you can see, I had to pull not one, but 2 tow vehicles, towing Jeeps, through a particularly, it was more of like a loose rock type of situation. It was a bit of a hill climb, but the rocks were just kind of loose and rolling around underneath the wheels, and so it was a little bit more difficult to get traction.
Tow pigs are outmatched. Dave's off-road recovery is coming for you. Video does not do this justice, but this is that's a climb. There's those trees in the distance for reference.
After towing both of the vehicles through that spot, we really started to question if we were on the right trail.
Okay, well, here's our day one update. We have run into a little bit of a snafu. I followed the Google Maps road that takes us from North Lake Tahoe to the Meadow Lake campground. And I figured maybe that's the best way.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
And the road has some pretty tricky spots. Obviously, as you saw, we had to do not one, but 2 recoveries.
If Dave didn't come with us.
Yeah, it would have sucked if I didn't come on this little trip. But
That would have really sucked.
so this road is rolling at about 5 miles an hour at best, and we still have 8.5 miles to go.
Right here, the topography does not look favorable.
Yeah, and Google's saying 30 minutes to get 8.5 miles. Well, that's going, what, 15 miles an hour? Something like that? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So we are going to be very late rolling into Meadow Lake, and we're probably not going to get to Tahoe Donner until after dark. The other 4 already are at the campground enjoying cold beers and setting up their tents, making dinner for us, which we will not be able to enjoy.
What did you say?
But yeah, that's just the long and short of it as of this moment.
We continued on for about another 20-25 minutes, and it was pretty evident at that point that we should not have listened to Google, that we were not on the right track.
20 minutes later.
Well, day 1 has just taken a turn for the worst. Yeah, Google Maps did us dirty. Absolutely dirty. This trail coming in, we have basically now reached a point where it is impassable.
Houston, we have a problem.
So first thing we came upon was this nice little mud bog here, and I wasn't sure just how bad it was until I went through it. I'm on 40-inch tires, and it did completely swallow both of my differentials. So there was that problem. So we thought to ourselves, okay, maybe is it possible that we can unload the Jeeps and maybe just get the tow rigs through, or do the rigs first, pull the trailers through, and then drive the Jeeps through. So we considered that idea. Still have about 7 miles to Meadow Lake. But then we thought, well, once we get through that, what the heck is in front of us? So I said, well, let me drive it up a little bit and see. So we came through here, and lo and behold, this trail is completely washed out. I mean, this stuff is as bad as like stuff we see, you know, after really ridiculous hard rains and stuff. This is a almost 3 foot deep crevasse that the water's cut through. And off camber crazy, there's no way you can get a tow rig with trailer and Jeeps through here. So we have made the sad, crappy decision that we have to turn around and go back out. We've been on this trail already for an hour and 15 minutes. I don't even know what time it is right now, but the rest of the gang are expecting us back at Tahoe Donner Campground by 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. That's not going to happen. We'll be lucky if we get off this trail by 8 o'clock, I think.
So we turned around while we could, and we got the rigs out of there and doubled back. Took us almost an hour to get back. So that was a full 2 hour plus delay. So then we had to go all the way back around. We found another track that was on a previous Gaia from our 2020 trip. And so we ended up going back that way, which took us another hour and 15 minutes or so. All right, guys, so let me explain how we got all screwed up here. So what Google does is it basically tells you to take the 89 here and then jump on this little route here at Little Truckee Summit, and it turns into the 07 route. But this is Jackson Meadow Road, okay? So this is okay. This is where you're supposed to go. Where things got turned sideways is Google Maps tells you right about here. So Jackson Meadow Road continues on, and Google actually has you making a left at the fork here onto Forest Road 0720. And this is where stuff started to go sideways. So if you continue here, apparently it's supposed to take you into Meadow Lake. This is not the case. So if you look at the GPX here, so this pink line here is where we went, and this is where we ended up stopped, and the road became impassable at this point right here. So we had to turn around and go all the way back out. We did not have this blue track yet. We did not know about this road until the very last day. That was thanks to a very helpful member of the Sierra Trek who told us which way to go. But we ended up coming all the way back out this way and then driving west all the way across this pink line here, around the reservoir, and then all the way back down this way. So incredible detour we ended up taking. So getting back to our map here, what we should have done was up here is we should have stayed on Jackson Meadow. And if I adjust the maps just a little bit, the correct track takes you around Weber Lake here. So let's see if we can make a few little adjustments. We'll go up here, and this is the correct path. So that's what you want to do is you're going to drag your track all the way back up to the 07 road, which of course this is Jackson Meadow, and the left turn is going to be on, guess what? Meadow Lake Road. So didn't know there was a Meadow Lake Road, but Meadow Lake Road is graded, and this is how people get all of their fifth wheels and everything here into Meadow Lake. So that is what we should have done. And if you look back here, you can see here it is. Here's our blue track all the way back up and then around Weber Lake. So that's what we ended up doing on the final day. Well, the night gets longer and longer. It's about 9:05, and we found a GPX track hidden away in one of our Gaias, and we think that is going to lead us to the right place. So looks like another 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. Hopefully get to Meadow Lake before 10 o'clock. We'll find a camp, hopefully, set up some stuff, and then try and head back to the Tahoe Donner campground. We'll probably pull into Tahoe Donner around 1 a.m. That's my guess. 1 a.m.-ish. We'll see. Get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep and then go do it again tomorrow. So let's see what happens in the next hour or two. Hopefully we can find Meadow Lake. So long story short, we didn't pull into Meadow Lake until after 10:30 maybe. Alrighty, well, it's 10:15.
Looks like we have 2 minutes.
We are just a few minutes away from Meadow Lake, where we will try to find a campsite.
I don't break easy. I can usually handle a lot of situations with a smile on my face. This is one that is really testing me. We're at campground. We're here.
Oh my gosh, we made it.
So we're gonna need you to go search for us.
And then we didn't end up getting back to the Donner campground until about 1 a.m. Well, it's 1 a.m. 1:08, and we are 5 minutes away from the Tahoe Donner campground. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna sign off now because I gotta set up a tent and go to bed. But yeah, what a freaking day.